Ja, hvala lepa za besedo. Zakon je bil že v bistvu lepo.
This piece of legislation has been well presented, and the ministry has played a very active role in its formulation. We do believe how significant this is, and it also can help us to cover more vulnerable population on the labor market. I will shed light on the Act from our point of view. I will talk about its implementation. Well, I really don't like talking about the future, but I prefer to talk about the achievements that have been made. But maybe this could be an encouragement to, in the future, really take proper steps and make sure that the Act will blossom in reality. It has been highlighted that the Act provides for setting up a council for social entrepreneurship. The ministry is responsible to suggest to the government to set up this council. What is really important is the composition of the council. Well, first of all, you have the relevant ministries, as well as those who played a very active role in the formulation of the Act. This also means that we would have representatives of those ministries covering social entrepreneurship. We would need to have a representative from the trade union, two representatives of social companies, at least until such time when Slovenia does not have registered social companies, and until that time these will be representatives of NGOs. So you have the council, and the council will be an authority in Slovenia who will make sure that social entrepreneurship will gain in importance in Slovenia, and it will also steer the ministry to make headway. Secondly, I would also like to point out that a strategy needs to be devised based on the Act between 2012 and 2015, and what is also important is to develop an action plan to be implemented between 2012 and 2013. When it comes to the ministry, I would just like to highlight that we have devoted a lot of attention to formulating these measures and to allocating funds. I also believe that if you take a look at what other ministries have done and how they have responded to the Act, I believe that they will also be able to set a concrete policy on social entrepreneurship. And I'm also sure that other ministries will be able to support these measures in financial terms. What else to do? Well, you need to formulate a decree and a strategy. We also need to define the limitations of social enterprises, but I believe that Slovenian piece of legislation would more define all these activities. We also foresee an implementing act, but I don't want to go into details in relation to this, but its aim is to define detailed provisions on monitoring, controlling these social companies. The role of the ministry is as follows. It should provide for coordination. We believe that this is a very responsible and indispensable task. The ministry should also have enough staff to support the implementation of the tasks. Well, this is quite a challenge, and we need to rely on other actors. And the Act also provides for that. And we do hope that the ministry will be given 5 experts who will be responsible for the implementation of these tasks. Well, one of the very important tasks will be to monitor their business operations, the business operations of social companies, also monitoring and coordinating all these measures, preparing analysis and other expertise, last but not least, to set up records on social enterprises that will be set up based on the Act. As has already been highlighted, we have played a very active role when the Act was devised, because we count on the fact that social companies should have a positive impact on the labor market, especially when it comes to employing vulnerable people in Slovenia. What is more, we also believe that by upgrading some employment policies, we could promote social entrepreneurship by giving grants, salary grants to vulnerable people, both for profit-making and non-profit-making companies. The European Social Fund is also vital in this respect, because we have been using its funds to promote projects on social entrepreneurship, and as far as I know, these projects are up and running. In 2011, we are planning a new call for those who have successfully completed these projects, and we intend to support them in the future, as well as giving a window of opportunity for new projects. Now, a couple of words on public works. This is a program in Europe that has been enjoying very long tradition in Slovenia. We have had it in Slovenia for 20 years, and I believe that it traces its roots in social entrepreneurship. This is why I've been thinking that a part of public works from 2012 onwards would receive special support, and it would go more into social entrepreneurship. What is very important when it comes to social works is that this is the only measure with self-financing on the part of local communities. And I believe that this approach that has been taken by local communities is vital to ensure the success of social entrepreneurship. Another piece of information: since 1991, public works have covered 116,000 people, and more than 20% of these found employment following these public works. But this is not enough. We believe that a part of these funds should be directed into social entrepreneurship, because we believe that this would have a better leverage in fact, and this would also mean that more people would find regular employment. In other words, our aim is that 20% would be increased so that more people would find employment on a sustainable basis. What is also interesting is the fact that public works were focused on culture, agriculture, and I would also like to point out that associations, NGOs, schools, and municipalities have been main actors. Of course, there's one limitation, which means that an unemployed can be part of public works only for a year. And this also means that we seek to find a long-term solution. We hope that social enterprises could provide a sustainable long-term employment. I've already pointed out that public works have been in place for 20 years and we have focused on target groups. These are long-term unemployed, people with disabilities, the elderly people older than 50 years, and also those who have not found employment yet, as well as other vulnerable groups such as the Roma or other people with limited capabilities. And first job seekers, of course. 20 million euro is earmarked for public works on an annual basis. Of course, due to budgetary constraints on the one hand and due to demand on the market, this amount had to be reduced, but we hope that in 2012 we could use these funds to boost social entrepreneurship. What is also important is that in 2010, when 6,000 people were involved in public works, 30% were focused on social security programs, and I believe that this could be a foundation for developing social entrepreneurship. Home care and similar services could be promoted and integrated. In this respect, 25% came from education, and I believe that we do not have so many opportunities to integrate these activities into social entrepreneurship, but what I do believe is that environmentalism, ecology, landscaping, and green jobs, as well as culture, seize prospects in social entrepreneurship. Also, the European Social Fund has been focusing on culture, where vulnerable groups have been integrated into the culture labor market. I believe this is all on my part, and as I have already promised, we will do our best to deliver on our promises and to translate the act into reality. Thank you very much.